This is Bryce Van Patten from Metal Express Radio. Today, my very special guest is an iconic singer who has fronted some of the biggest names in hard rock and heavy metal. From his time in Rainbow, Michael Schenker Group, Alcatrazz, and Airey, and of course his own band. I'm talking, of course, about the one and only Graham Bonnet and the Graham Bonnet Band. How's your day going today, Graham?
Oh, it's going very well. The sun is shining, the chickens are in the yard, and the giraffe has gone for a walk. Yeah, no, everything's fine. We do have chickens, but we don't have a giraffe. We have 2 chickens, which is fine. Yeah, it's another beautiful day in California, as it always is.
Awesome. I'm just north of you in Vancouver, Washington, just above Portland. So,
oh, really?
Beautiful day here. And okay, so your third album by Graham Bonnet Band comes out May 13th. Correct?
Yeah.
And Day Out in Nowhere. Can you talk a little bit about what the new album means to you?
Well, it means a lot to me because this is my new baby, along with Bethany Heavenstone and Conrad Pesanato. We started to work together probably about 10 years ago, something like that. And we eventually sort of drifted apart for whatever reasons. And now we're back together, so the family's back together again. And this album is I'm really pleased with it, the way we produced the album, the way it came out. The sound of the album is very modern, I think, but the songs always say something as I try to, put a story into a song. But with the help of Bethany and Conrado Pesanato, we've produced a really good album, I think. And I think this is probably better than the first album we did, which was, about 10 years ago. I think so, anyway.
Yeah. No, I love the new album. And I also had Meanwhile Back in the Garage, which I thought was really good. Really good. So could you tell us a little bit about your songwriting process on this record?
Well, it's always the same. I usually have an idea about an arrangement, or somebody else will. Usually it's Conrad, because he's the guitar player in the band. And so he comes up with ideas, musically. And then I add my parts, my vocal stylings and my lyrics, which are always a little bit comedic, I should say. And then Bethany adds her bass part, and then we add everybody else. But we have different drummers on this album and a couple of different guitar players, but they're people we sort of know, and it's turned out very, very well, I think. But usually it's I get arrangements from other people, then I write the melody line and the lyric. And that's my job.
Excellent. So the album has kind of a little bit of a mix of styles, but they all work really well together. How hard is it to balance things when you break it up with a little bit of variety like that?
I don't even think about that. I just sort of say, oh, yeah, we should do this. This sounds great. I never really think about it being in one sort of direction. And the good thing about this album is that everything's a little bit different. It makes it a little bit more, interesting to me anyway. It's not all sort of so-called heavy rock. There's a little bit of both in there. There's a little bit of sweetness. And I think we've come up with a really good choice of songs. And they work really well because we spent a lot of time on this album. It almost took us a year, I think, to really get it right, And I think this time we got it right, thanks to Conrad and Bethany.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about your current lineup?
Yeah, well, Bethany Heavenstone is our bass player. Conrad Pesanato is our guitar player. And Kyle Hughes will be our drummer on the road, along with Alessandro. What's his second name? Bertoni. I can never remember his second name. But he's playing on the album. He's on the album, and so is Kyle. But some of the people that are on the album won't be playing on the road with us, obviously. But that's going to be our lineup for our band, and we're looking forward to that. As soon as we can get out on the road, the better, and get some more gigs in. We've got a few gigs coming up, but they're not in this country. They're overseas. So hopefully we'll be able to play in America one day. But sometimes, it's just the way it is right now. With all the, the COVID thing going on and people canceling tours, it's very hard to, work in this country right now.
That actually leads to my next question, which was, how has the pandemic affected the making of your record, and how has it affected you as a musician?
As what?
As a musician.
Oh yeah, well, I think I had plenty of time to think about what the words in the song should be about, and but 2 years of doing nothing almost is terrible. I'm a bit worried about going on stage again. It's going to be a bit nerve-wracking because I haven't done that for so long, 2 years and whatever else. I mean, I've been singing all this time, recording, but to get out in front of a live audience will be a little bit nerve-wracking. But I think we're ready for it. I know that Bethany's been rehearsing our bass parts every day, and we're going to start recording some stuff tomorrow with Conrad. We've got to really get into it and play. We've got to play better than we did before. Let's say that. And I think we're coming back with a much stronger band than we had before. As I said, I'm very nervous of doing this, but it's something we have to do because I want to promote this album, because the album's worth promoting. And it's just a little, oh God, we haven't played for 2 years. Oh God, how's it going to be? Are we going to be okay? Who's going to die on stage, or are people going to throw shit at us, whatever. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be fine.
So you have some guest musicians that helped out on the record. How was it putting all that together with a little help from friends and some guest musicians?
Yeah, well, Conrad knows a lot of people that are musicians, and he helped us out along with, we are friends with Mikey Tempesta and John Tempesta. We knew those guys. But Conrad brought in Jeff Loomis and Roy Z, because they're new friends of mine now. And I'm glad that we got arrangements from them. They just sent us a track. All those guys sent us a track that I could make up melodies to and lyrics. So that's how I write songs, is basically by just doing the top line and the lyric line. So, but I had one song on there, which was my own arrangement. That was A Day Out in Nowhere, that song. That's my baby, so to speak, from top to bottom. But, these guys are so bloody good. It's we're very grateful for them playing on there. And of course, Don Airey, who is my old friend and always will be, he sent a track to us as well, which is great. He's out there with Deep Purple right now, so he's busy. But the track he sent is great.
Yeah. What I was going to ask also, what does Don bring to the table that nobody else can?
Well, he's got that Don Airey touch, He's got that. He's a great keyboard player, and he can always recognize his playing. Him and John Lord, rest his soul. There's something about those guys, And Don has always got something exciting to play, So when he sent that track, I was very happy, and he was very happy. I sent him a very rough melody line. I remember when we were putting down the demo for it, and he said, "It's great to hear your voice again, because we haven't seen each other for a while." And I was just going, no, doing a la-la sort of thing. But he said, "I like the melody, blah, blah, blah." So I wrote the melody around that rough vocal I had, because I thought Don liked it, and that's how I should proceed,
Excellent. So I feel Graham Bonnet Band places more emphasis on the song and the message than maybe Alcatraz does. How is this different for you than Alcatraz?
Well, it's similar to what I've done, in the past with Alcatraz, the first version of Alcatraz, back when Yngwie was our guitar player. I don't think that there's much of a difference. I think there's a bit of Alcatraz and a bit of Rainbow in there. There's always going to be that, It's always going to sound like Alcatraz because of the guy that's singing, and
exactly.
all the harmonies, What can I do? And the subjects I write about are usually not the usual stuff. It's something a little bit different, probably humorous, probably not. Humorous to me, but not to anybody else. But, there's always going to be those lyrics that are thought-provoking, I hope. And as I keep saying in a lot of interviews that I said years ago, it was a thinking man's heavy metal,
So do you think it gives you a little more freedom as a writer, it not being Alcatraz?
Yes, a little bit, yeah. I really do, because having these guests on the album, they sent me new ideas, which was great, but me and Conrad work really well together, and Bethany. And it's fine, the three of us are like the core of the band. and to have other writers come in was what helped us out a lot, because we get a lot of ideas, and that's why some of it doesn't sound exactly like Alcatraz or whatever. But it's nice to have friends that are great musicians. I can say that.
Well, my last thing about Alcatraz here is, can you just talk really briefly about, when you stepped down from Alcatraz and your bandmate, Yngwie White?
Yes, well, that was not a very good time. And Alcatraz, our manager wasn't treating me very well, or Bethany, and it was a time to leave. He actually, his name is Giles, he actually retired. He said no, he gave up the job of being, pardon?
Resigned.
He resigned, sorry. He resigned as being manager of the band. And so I thought, well, okay, we can do this without him. And, the players, so two of the players aren't very good. And I've never thought they're very good in the band. They're kind of fake players. And he wanted to put that band together that we had back in 1980, whatever it was. And
right.
I didn't agree with him, I said no. So I left. And he resigned, apparently. He wrote a letter saying he resigned. And then he suddenly came back, and those players that I didn't want to work with were back in the band again. So Bethany was gone playing bass, and I was gone singing. I just said, no more. I said to the guys in the band, well, how about we can go on tour, but without Giles as our manager, because I don't think he's doing a very good job. And they said, oh, no, we can't do without him. So there was something going on between the members of the band and our manager, which I didn't like. There was a lot of secrecy and under the table things going on. I was a bit puzzled about why we're doing certain things. It's a bit confusing. So, better left alone there. But the new Alcatraz thing that I will be doing is with Jeff Loomis. And he is a great guitar player and somebody I respect, whereas I didn't respect the guys in the so-called Alcatraz. And with Yngwie White now singing, which is another story. I mean, it's not going to sound like Alcatraz. Come on.
Right. Right.
It's not. I mean, the band was me. It was my band. I formed in my garage, a million years ago. And it's not going to sound like Alcatraz, because the sound was the vocals and the lyrics and the sound of the band, basically. But the guitar player was Yngwie Malmsteen, and we didn't have an Yngwie Malmsteen on anything. He was the best, and Steve Vai. Those are two great guitar players, which we couldn't match. We had people who played like them, a few guitar players, but they'll never be those people. And so it was a bit of a messy band altogether. But anyway, I'm better out of it. I feel much more comfortable now. I'm with people I love, and it's, I'm looking forward to doing the next album. But I've started writing with Jeff Loomis on the new Alcatraz stuff, which will be called, hopefully, Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz. But we're fighting over the copyright of the name right now. And they don't want me to use the name at all. They're trying to stop me from using the name. It's my freaking band, And so that's going on right now. So I don't know what's going to happen. They can use the name. I don't care. But as long as I can use the name as Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz, that's fine with me. They can go out as Alcatraz. But the people won't hear Alcatraz. They'll see a bunch of guys playing Alcatraz-ish songs, but they won't hear the sound of Alcatraz.
Yeah, so, it's like seeing Toto with just the drummer.
Yeah. Oh, Dio without Dio.
Well, they had a holographic Dio, and I was like, didn't know quite what to think about that.
That was weird, wasn't it?
I thought it was, and the hologram of him was about 2 feet tall or something. So, I mean, he wasn't a tall guy in the first place, but it really didn't. I don't know. I felt really weird about that whole thing, but I agree with you. I agree with you about Alcatraz. I mean, that's your band. It's been your band. It's your sound, so.
Exactly. Well, as I'm saying, they can have the name. It's just a name, but they can't have the music. They'll never have the music because that's me. I wrote all those songs, back then with Yngwie, Malmsteen, and that became the sound of Alcatraz, if you will. But it's the harmonies and the lead vocal and the subject of the songs, the substance of the songs was always a little bit different, a little bit humorous or a little bit weird, but they were never about, the obvious, which Dungeons and Dragons music, if you will, you know what I mean.
Exactly. My favorite, I just say real quick, Hiroshima Mon Amour is still one of my all-time favorite songs of just songs, not just of Alcatraz. So love that. And I've always loved the way that no matter how busy the music is in the background, you have a way to put a great melody and harmonies that fit over it,
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I try to do. I try to make it fit and not sound like it's alien to the track, Sometimes when I got something from, say, Yngwie or something, I go, where does the vocal go on this, And then eventually I found out where it should go. Don't overdo it. Don't do too much here. Don't sing it, And I got kind of used to writing songs like that with just tracks coming in from him and other people on the other, later on. It's a hard thing sometimes. It takes me forever to write a song with interesting lyrics and an interesting melody. It does take a long time, but sometimes it's not so long. It takes me sometimes about 3 weeks to do one tune, depending on how confusing the arrangement is.
Right, but you're not slapping something together. You're crafting a song that has to hold up to your reputation and your music. So
I always try to be a bit different, And the people have sort of said, well, can't you do a straight ahead song, so everybody can understand it right from the beginning? No.
Yeah.
They've got to listen to the song and get the story of the song, and then they'll appreciate that. Hiroshima, for one, that's about the bomb. It was a newborn and 10 feet tall. And I mean, that opening line itself is like, what does that mean? It's newborn and 10 feet tall, but they called it Little Boy.
Yeah, the little big boy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's right. And that's really, I mean, I remember singing that song in Japan, and the audience were just incredible. When the song was finished, I just said, I love you to them, and no more war. And it was like, so, I feel guilty. I'm not an American, I didn't drop the bomb, but I feel guilty about it,
Yeah, I do.
It was horrific.
Speaking of Yngwie, do you guys have any contact anymore?
No, I haven't seen him for like 8,000 years. I never see him at all. I've never. The last time I saw him was probably at one of the NAMM shows about probably about 20 years ago.
Wow.
No, I don't see him ever. Don't hear anything from him. Nothing.
Well, there's
not that I hate him or anything, or we're not arguing about stuff anymore. But I mean, he was never my close friend, but he was all right, But he became a bit of a nuisance at one point. He got a bit hard to work with because of his ego, because he's such a great guitar player. And I couldn't fight that one day he was going to have his own career, and he did. And good for him. He did really, really well, and he's still doing well. He was a kid that I'm very lucky to have had in the band. He made the band. He really did, the first version of Alcatraz. He was the musician, the other musician, because the other guys I wasn't so sure about.
Yeah, I just totally agree. There was some magic that happened on that record, and the Steve Vai album had a complete different magic of its own as well.
Yeah, Steve's a great writer. I love the second album, probably more than the first, if you like, because writing with Steve was really interesting. We both had the same kind of weird ideas about, time signatures and going off in a different direction in a song, changing keys where you don't expect it and things like that. But he's very, very musical. I love the second album. I really do. And very proud of it. The first album was kind of like a tester to see what would happen. Would people be interested in me with another band and not Rainbow, And we did okay. We got a gold album in Japan, and it was fucking great. I was really, really surprised how well we did. But then when Yngwie left, then we went down the shitter a bit, But then Steve came along, and we're okay again,
Yeah, I remember first time I heard it, I was like, who's this Steve Vai guy? And then I was like, this stuff's great. Like, God Bless Video. And every track on that record just is totally strong and classic Alcatraz. So are you doing any of the old stuff on tour?
Yeah, well,
with the Graham Bonnet Band?
Obvious. Yeah, we have to do the obvious ones, the Rainbow tunes and some Alcatraz probably, but it'd be not, and some Michael Schenker things.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing any Alcatraz.
Actually, maybe Jet to Jet.
I might do one. Yeah, probably one Alcatraz song, a song called Jet to Jet.
Yeah,
but,
great song.
I want to leave that behind, that old Alcatraz behind a bit. But we're doing some, we've been doing Michael Schenker stuff and some Rainbow stuff in with our own songs.
So another quick question here. Is there anything in the future with more Michael Schenker Fest?
I don't know. We've been talking to Michael's keyboard player. We'd like to get on a tour with him and open up for him. That would be kind of nice. And then if we could...
Festival back to back.
What's that there?
We played the same festival.
Oh, we are, yeah. Yeah, we're playing what's it called, that
Steel
festival?
House.
Steel House.
Yeah, in Wales.
In Wales. We're doing the same show it's called, in Wales, it's called Steel House. And we're doing the same show. We're on the day before him. And, so I won't actually be on the same stage as him that day. So it'd be nice if we could actually... I could actually drift along there and do a song with him, but I think we're traveling on to another place the day after, so I won't be able to do that. But to do it, we were thinking it'd be nice if we'd do a double bill opening up. We'd open up for Michael, and that would be fantastic. Then I can do a song with him as well.
Yeah, I'd be at that show all the way. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I wouldn't miss it for anything. When I first heard that you were coming back with Michael Schenker Fest, I didn't miss it because I never got the chance to see you back in the 80s in Alcatraz. So,
right.
Or of course Rainbow, because I don't think Rainbow came to the West Coast, or if they did, I missed it.
Yeah, we didn't play here very much. We were always in the middle of Midwest or wherever, or the East Coast. Yeah, out here, Rich had a bit of a. And we don't play California. They've seen it all. They don't want to know about us. It was that kind of attitude. It's all they won't want to watch us. They've seen it. They've seen everybody. So we never played really here. I don't think we played. We may have played Long Beach. I'm not sure. It's so long ago. I can't remember where we did exactly. But the rest was definitely more on the East Coast and all over America. But not
Yeah. By the time Rainbow came to Portland, it was with Joe Lynn Turner, so completely different animal to me. Richie had to change singers every 3 albums, or
yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a bit of a revolving door with singers and whatever. Well, with members of the band actually. Who's playing whatever today? Who's playing bass? Nobody. But I mean, I was lucky enough. In my mind, I think I was in the best lineup: Cozy Powell, Don Airey, Roger Glover, and of course Richie and me. Yeah. It was what a lineup that was. I mean, you can't beat that. I always felt so comfortable when I went on stage. It was such a joy to walk out there in front of. You never knew how many people were going to be there, but a vast audience. And not worry about I might lose my voice tonight. Oh no, I know I won't, because they're behind me. If I start to croak a bit, they'll kick me up the arse. Come on, Coach would look at me and go, come on. They were great days. And as I said, I was very, very lucky to be in that lineup.
Awesome. So I imagine you're doing some of the Russ Ballard songs on your tour?
I think we're going to be doing...
Since You've Been Gone and SOS.
We're doing, obviously, Since You've Been Gone. Since You've Been Gone. And SOS, which is another Russ Ballard song, which I did on a solo album. But we played that with Yngwie when Yngwie was in the band. We used to do SOS. So we're doing a couple of Russ Ballads. Yeah,
I think I had that on your. You guys had a live album. With Yngwie. So
playing that SOS, was it?
Yeah,
possibly.
I'm pretty sure. Well, and also Night Games. Do you still do that song?
Oh yeah, we're doing that. That's one of my solo thingies.
Yeah, that's from before Rainbow, correct?
It's, wait a minute, it's after Rainbow. No, wait a minute. That's before Rainbow, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I have to think about it. No, I've been in so many bands. I'm getting completely confused.
It's all right. It's all right. I was just curious.
Yes, it was before. It was before Michael Schenker, because we did it in Michael. Well, we're going to do it in Michael Schenker band, but we never did.
Wasn't it after Rainbow, but before Michael?
Yeah, it was in the middle. It was a sandwich. I did. After Rainbow, I did a solo album and Night Game. Did you say? Yeah, I was on that. That was my single, which did really great in England. It did fantastic.
Yeah, lovely song. I love that. So what else does 2022 have in store for the Graham Bonnet Band?
Oh, God, I don't know, but I hope it's a lot. I hope it's something interesting. I hope we make money this year. Having the bank account go down to zero, almost. Well, you know what I mean. You got to work and make money. And I'm looking forward to actually playing in America, as I was saying, because we don't play here enough. We play here sometimes, once every 2 or 3 years, but in the middle of nowhere, and nobody knows we're playing. No, so to play in America would be great. Now we have American management that hopefully will get us more work over here, because it's be nice to, go, get out of bed and go to a gig that's in California. Really, yeah.
That would be great. Do you have any videos coming out from the new record?
Yeah, there are 2 out now. One for the song Imposter, and the other one is Uncle John. Those 2 are out now on YouTube. They're
Excellent.
really good. Yeah, you'll like them.
Excellent. One of my last questions. I thought very interesting song on the record, David's Mom.
Yeah. Oh no.
What would you like to say about that song?
Well, that was my first strange sexual experience. I guess I was about 7 years old or 8. And I went to call on my friend. We were going to go into town, and his name is David. And his mom said, "Well, I'll take you. I'll drive you there." She said, "I'll drive you downtown." And she said, "Just sit there, wait a minute." So I was sitting on the couch, and she came in where I'll never forget this. She's wearing this black dress, and over by the fireside were some silk stockings hanging over a chair near the fire, sort of warming up. It was winter time, I guess. They were warming up. And that's what the song's about. She stood in front of me and pulled these stockings up, lifting her dress up and watching my reaction, I think, as she's clipping the garter onto these black stockings. And I couldn't take my eyes off her. And I had this strange feeling, which I didn't know what it was at the time. But I still do. I still do. I still think about her, and I think about Dave. I've been trying to get in touch with David, but David's mum, died. She was 95, I think. She died not so long ago, and we found pictures of her, and it's just. I was a kid. I was a baby.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why I was feeling this strange way. But that was David's mum. And
I just want to say thanks so much for being my guest. Really appreciate it. And Graham Bonnet Band, Day Out in Nowhere on Frontiers SLR Music, coming out May 13th. Everybody pick it up. It's a great record. And thanks once again, Graham.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Have a great day.
You too, man.
Bye.